Good morning, it's your girl. And today, it's going to be a cool day. Stay tuned. To Karina's Forte, and today we talking about our nephew, Sheduer Sanders. Yes, my goodness, he showed up and showed out yesterday. It was crazy. Not only did he throw for 3 touchdowns, he ran one in himself. He got one interception, but it's okay. He came so close to winning. And then Stefanski, his coach, takes him out of the game to bring in a running back to throw some crazy play he came up with. No, Shador could have tied it, but no, they wanted him to lose the game. They don't care anyway because they're not in the playoffs. It makes no sense, right? Well, let me start at the beginning. So to go to the beginning, we have to start with his father. His father is no other than Deion Primetime Sanders. Oh my goodness. You talking about an amazing athlete? He's one of only 2 that's ever played 2 major league sports at the same time. So don't bring these other people to me. They played 2 sports, but not at the same time. It's different. You gotta be a superhuman to do that. And only him and Bo Jackson to this day has ever done that. That's all I'm saying. So now, while Bo Jackson was like that, he was quiet, but he was bad when he was on it. Woo, you ain't never seen no thighs or legs like his. That man was massive. He was more quiet. Now Dion's neon, like the lights. He would talk junk to these guys. He would talk he would go in and say, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do this. And they like, yeah, whatever, Dion. He get out on that field and do all of that. All of it. Everything he said he was going to do, he did. They hated him for that. Wherever Dion was, man, it was always something. He was stunting. He looked good doing it too. Man, one of my favorite players. He played for Dallas Cowboys. That's my team. Anywho, yeah. So since they couldn't stand him, none of them, right? They figured for the whole time Dion played, really not in Major League Baseball, but when he played in the NFL, they tried so hard to break him, traded him, all of these things. It didn't bother him one bit. He still got on that field and gave him 190%. It was crazy. So since they couldn't break him, right? Now you got his son Sheduer entering the draft. And now he's supposed to go in the first round, top 5. Nah. The only way you could possibly even poke Dion is when you mess with his children. So that's exactly what they did. They held his son, the NFL, held his son into the 5th round. He went 5th round, 144, behind a bunch of slugs that won't even be playing next year, more than likely. And guess what? The kid was just like, let's go. He didn't care what team he was on. None of that. He learned from the best. You got to understand, Dion been through it all. So he instilled it in his boys and let them know, hey, this is how it's going to be. You just have to trust and believe in God. And everything going to work out. He ain't tell a lie. So the Cleveland Browns draft him. And basically, he's just benched. He's not getting any reps with anybody because they put Dylan behind Flacco. So it was Flacco, him, and then it was Sheduer. But Flacco got traded. Oh, was he happy. They brought him to the Bengals. He did really well over there because they had a real team. The Browns has a terrible team. But they put Dylan Gabriel before Sheduer. And then it was such a controversy because now there's only 2 quarterbacks, right? And they're trying to figure out who's going to be number 2. They were going to call somebody from the practice league. From the practice team? You going to call somebody over Sheduer who got drafted? That's so disrespectful, right? You going to call somebody who's a temp, basically, over an employee? Yeah, okay. We see where it's going. So still, it's just him and Dylan. So he should be getting some reps from the first. He was getting it through all the security guards, everybody but the people he needed to be throwing to. Crazy. And so they let Dylan play 5, 6 games, and he was terrible all the time. Not some of the time, all the time. He couldn't pass. He couldn't throw past 10 yards. Here you got Sheduer. He ain't saying nothing. He ready. And then one day, finally, they let him in because they say Dylan has a concussion. But nobody can find the footage of him getting one. They did that because they wanted Sheduer to look terrible. And he didn't look great. They threw him in at the fourth quarter. He didn't say anything. He got in there. He only had 47 yards, no touchdowns, and he had an interception. Oh, that's all they did is talk about it. But they knew that's what's going to happen. So then, since he's out, and all the Browns fans like, hey, put this kid in. They're mad. So now they got to listen to the fans. So the fans saying, look, put this guy in. So then he gets his first real start. And boy, what a start. He passed for 209 yards. He got one touchdown, but he also had an interception. Remember, he's a rookie. And this is his first time actually really getting first round reps ever, right? So they don't know how he plays. He don't know how they play, even though he can look. But it's not until you throw to somebody to say, oh, okay, this is what he usually does. So then the second game, right, where he played the 49ers, he had 149 yards, one touchdown, but he didn't have any interceptions. It was a good game, right? But yesterday, it was his third game starting. He had almost 400 yards. He had 364 yards, passing yards, 3 TDs, 1 rushing TD. But he also had 1 interception. He's still young. It's only his third game. Can you imagine if they would have started him instead of Dylan? They would be in the playoffs. I'm sure of it. Now, yesterday, he went against the number 1 pick. He too is a black quarterback. And they admire each other because even the guy Cam from the Titans was like, yeah, we're going to go 1 and 2. They didn't know who was going to be 1 or 2. And when they didn't even see him in the first round, they was like, wow. So even though they held him back, did all of these asinine things, he still rose above the occasion. He's the first rookie QB to have over 300 passing yards. The first of the year. The other one was, I think, Burrow. He had one in his rookie year. And look, I know everybody's saying, whatever, he's this, he's that. America can't stand to see anybody black that's confident. That's why they say black women are aggressive. Nah, it's not that we're aggressive. It's just that we are direct. That's it. We're direct. And most people don't like it because we should be subservient. That's what they accustomed to us being. But nah, we're not. So when a black young man comes off as confident, they take it as him being, he needs to be more humble. They tried to break him. It didn't work. His father already let him know what he went through. He's a better version of Dion. Just give him a shot. You'll see. Mark my words, the kid gonna be like another Brady. I'm not gonna say another Brady. He gonna be just as good, if not better. Now, let's start with why all of this even went on. Since the NFL cannot stand Deion Sanders, they collectively got together and said, no one can draft him to the 5th or 6th round. No one can draft him. And when you do draft him, you can't play him. It makes sense. People think about it. Stefanski is not going on his own will. He's saying it's all him, but you could tell he's quick in the interviews. He ain't really saying much because he's frustrated. He's just a man trying to keep his job. But if you notice, this is a telltale sign. No one from the franchise has said anything. The owner, upper management, nothing. That's how you know it's bigger than them, because the franchise is part of a league, a private club of white men and one woman. And I know you're going to say there's a minority, but he's Indian. He thinks he's white too. So they're all white and racist, period. And people say, oh, they let this person play. Yeah, because they're trying to win. If you don't have us on the field, ain't no winner. It's a pickup game in the neighborhood. So that's the only thing that would explain why the coach is this, because it's over his head. You can't let him win. Don't let him win this game. You got to abide by it. People think you can't do it. Why would they do that? It's called racism. It's funny because white people are just really waking up to this shit. Now when it's happening and they can actually see it and they have awakened, now it's like, holy cow. Yeah, no shit. That's why there's nothing this country can do to the Black indigenous American. You've done everything. You stripped us of our native rights and gave it to another group that's from Southeast Asia. Yeah, we know about that. We know about you burning our records and making us think that we are from Africa. We're not. We are from the Americas. We are indigenous to this country. That's another thing they can't stand. We're the only group of people written into the Constitution, which they're now trying to revoke. It's not going to happen. They're like, oh, they're coming for you too. No, they're not. They need us. But yeah, what he has gone through, every Black, indigenous American and our ancestors have been through. It's nothing new to us. It's new to y'all. Y'all like, oh my God, what? It's been like that. I'm glad your eyes are open. I'm glad you guys could all see. We ain't mad. We're going to keep living and thriving because karma is hitting all of those who are relatives of the ancestors that treated our ancestors terrible. We're going to sit back and just watch. Because look at what we have in office right now. It's crazy. Anywho, I still need you to get up. Yeah, you. Get up, get out. And white people, if you just stop being racist, there would be no racism.